Okay. I think we're ready to solve AtCoder. Rhythm game. What? So we have a game. Ah. Wait, this is very easy problem. Yeah? You just go and press the buttons. I don't understand. What's the problem here? Ah, button might... might exist for several seconds. Okay, I don't understand how it's a hard problem. So we read N, we read D, we read a lot of T's, and we read a lot of X's. Then we want to return yes or no. Okay. What do we do here? Here we pass dtx. Good. So I think for each button we want to know the earliest moment we can press it. Let's just store the current moment and current coordinate. Okay, so we want to visit. I think we need to store. So we always start at the place 0, but what is the time? We want to store the time. So now we want to go to point xi. So we go to the point xi and we spent this much time. Okay, so if t It always makes sense to press the button as early as possible, right? Okay, I think it's right. So if t is less than ti, then t equals ti. then we so if t is greater than ti plus d, then probably we return false. And then we say that t plus equals xi again. Okay, and we return true. I think that's it. Yes, no, yes, no. I think it should be yes, no, yes, no. Ah, stress. Ah, because I removed files. No, no, yes, no, why? So here we go to t1 x1 t2 x2 etc. Yeah, I get it. Now this fails. At moment 0 a lot of buttons appeared. I see. Okay, what do we do if there are a lot of buttons? Well, we want to address them in increasing order. So we want to sort them. We want to basically sort them. Yeah, so let's sort them. And then we put here x and here t. What's wrong with you? I cannot sort it. Oh my god. Ah, we can address the points not in the order that we... Ah, we want to address the points not in this order. Sometimes 2 points appear and we want to address them not in the order. Okay, let's see. Assume that we have 2 points. One at point xi and ti, and one at point xi plus 1 and t. At the moment ti plus 1. So we either want to go to xi, go back, and go to xi plus 1, and spend 2xi plus xi plus 1, and it should be at most ti plus 1 plus d, or 2xi plus 1 plus xi should be at most ti plus d. So anyway, 2xi plus 2xi plus 1 should be at most either xi plus 1 plus ti plus 1 plus d, or ti plus xi plus d. So we want whatever of this is. So we want the one that is bigger. For example, let's assume that this is bigger. Then we want this way. Wait, what? Yeah, we want firstly to look at the nearest points and then the farthest points. So we want to sort points by the sum xi plus ti. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, maybe now I can submit. Already wrong answer. Can I see the tests? Compile error? Okay, I just wrote a bad solution. Okay, is it true that after this sort we could do something more useful? For example, it might happen that we went here, waited too much, went... Okay, what about the waiting? Okay, let's basically make this problem easier. So for each button, there is a button at point xi, moment ti. Let's teleport this button to the beginning. And now this point can be pressed from moment xi minus ti minus xi to ti minus xi plus d, and it will always take 2xi time. So this is the problem. So we have several segments of time, and in each segment we need to spend some time in this segment. And the question is, can we do that? What about this problem? It's again about the order. So let's look at two segments. Also the segments are of the same size. Therefore, yeah, the segments are always of the same size. So if the segment So is it a good idea? So for example, we appeared here. We can immediately start this segment. And it will take some time. It will take some time. And then we immediately start the next one. Or instead of that, we wait for this segment. So no waiting. Actually, it is better to never wait. Of course. it only makes sense to wait if we cannot do it in time. So we need to wait for this segment only if doing it like this is too long. So we only want, we want S1 earlier than S2 if S1 dot time is less than S2 dot time, and that we can do S2 in time. Actually, I don't know. Of course. Actually, not so many people solved it. Okay, so let's think again. It's a simple scheduling task. We have several segments of the same size. And each of them says that you need, during this time, to start sleeping and sleep for 2x time. And you need to perform all of that. Maybe we can go through the segments from last to first. For example, let's take the rightmost segment. Let's take the rightmost segment. I think we can all agree that we can just sleep at this moment. And that's it. We can just sleep at this moment. We can just sleep at this moment and that's it, right? Why would we do it earlier? Because we want to do something earlier and then do something else. Ah, yeah, we can do that. Wait, no, it does not make any sense. Okay. Okay, first of all, let's assume that two segments are already started. Then what will be my order of these two segments? If two segments already started, what is my order? If two segments already started, then I think it's really about xi plus ti. What do I mean by that? I mean by that this point is xi plus ti, and this point, no, this point is xi minus ti plus d, and this point is xj minus tj plus d. And what do I choose? I choose between, so this is some moment b. I choose between b plus 2 xi being at most xj minus tj plus d, or between b plus 2xj being at most xi minus ti plus d. How to make it balanced? Three xj minus tj. I don't believe it. B plus 2xi should be at most xj minus tj plus d. Three xj minus tj? What? So I want this to be the biggest one. So I want this to be the smaller one. So in increasing order of 3xj minus tj? No, this does not make sense. So if I have something appeared at point 0 in moments 1, 3, 5, then I first want to process 5, then 3, and then 1. No, I don't want to do it. But if they already run, because I'm dumb. It's not like this. It's ti minus xi plus d, and this is tj minus xj plus d. Okay, ttxx. Yeah, so it's like tj plus xj in increasing order. Okay, so if two segments already started, then we want them in order of in the increasing order. So now the problem is that I have several segments that are already started, but I want to wait for another segment. And the question is, why would I want to wait for them, for it? And why is it even an option? So if I have several segments, I just take one with the smallest ti plus xi. However, sometimes I have this segment. Can I actually combine these three segments into one big segment, or it's a bad idea? It's a bad idea because I can firstly run something like this, then do something here, and then continue doing here. So it doesn't make sense to glue up some segments. I would like to do that, to glue up some segments, but it's a bad idea here. So where can I see this ti plus xi? I can actually see it in the segment of finishing. So if this is the segment of starting, then this is the segment of finishing. Okay, let's look at the rightmost segment of finishing. Is it true that I just want to finish this rightmost segment in the rightmost point? And this is some segment of starting. Is it true that I just want to finish this segment at this moment? Probably not, because otherwise this would work, what I wrote before. Well, actually, okay, let's think about it. Let's think about going from right to left. So let's look at the finishing segment. So let's look at this is the starting segments, this is finishing segments. So let's look at the rightmost finishing segment. I want to say that I want to take the rightmost point of some finishing segment and take that. Let's look at the starting segment corresponding to that. I claim that you cannot have any starting segments here. Because if you have a starting segment here, for example, then you have to start during this segment. First of all, you cannot have starting segments to the right of this line, because otherwise their ending segments would be even more to the right. So all starting segments are somewhere here. And if I start something at this moment and end something at this moment, and end somewhere here, yeah, then there is no way I could start before that. Well, I actually... What? Yeah, I think we need to... Okay, let's consider the case when start and finish do not uh, overlap. So if the starting segment is Okay, here, okay, I mean, this starting segment. Okay, I just have to do something from here to here. No, it is possible. It is possible. It can happen that I have a starting segment like here and ending segment like here. So then I run this thing and then I run this thing. Why is this problem so hard? So again, let's go from left to right, I think. So we have several segments already started. If we have several already started segments, then we basically know that we want to go in order from the smallest to the biggest ti plus xi. However, there might appear a new segment with even smaller ti plus xi. Can it make sense to run this segment, for example, earlier than this one? Earlier than this one, and it has not the same amount of ti plus xi. Well, so I basically have several pairs. I have deadline, and how much time it will take. Actually, 2xi. I have deadline and the time it takes. And I can wait. I can take the smallest di plus 2xi, or I can wait for the next segment to appear. These are my two cases. So if I choose between them, I can. So if I can do it before it appears, I do, basically, always. So I'm choosing between. Is it true that the moment this segment appears, I need to run it just from this moment to this moment? Probably not. Probably doesn't make sense to start at exactly this moment, because it's kind of fine to start later. Okay, I don't know what to do. Let's look at some other problems. Hopefully solvable. Human exercise at AtCoder city is represented by an n by n grid. Ah, it's also 3 hours. I don't want to solve it for 3 hours. I'm tired. If both moves are possible, choose the one whose destination cell has been visited fewer times in the previous exercises. If the counts are equal, choose the downward move. It's actually interesting. So let's see at the shape. Is it square matrix? Ah, it's also a square matrix. Lovely problem. So we go down and then right in the first exercise. Second time we go here, then we go down, then we go here and here. Now it gets complicated. Here. Ah, we again take this L shape. Yeah, because... Yeah, we just take the L shape. And then we go here, and actually we see that we can go here and here. Okay, then we go here, here. Oh my god. What? So initially we have a matrix of zeros. Then we have a lot of ones. Then we have this matrix. Then we have this matrix. Okay, then we have which matrix? Okay, what then? 5, 3, 2, 2 to 1. Two to one, then probably it goes down. Yeah. And again, 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 to 1. Three to 5. It's funny, but it somehow seems symmetric. Why is it symmetric? Does it really make a lot of sense for this to be symmetric? Okay, let's go on. 6, 3, 3. Now, of course, it goes to the right. 2 to 2. And now it goes 2 to 1, 1. 2 to 1, 1. 2 to 1, 1. 2 to 2, 3, 3, 6. Oh my god. What is that? I want to look at more of these matrices. Okay. Let's do the following. So so I say that vi is vi minus 1. I create int x equals 0, y equals 0. For int j, for this j, I do the following. I say that plus plus v yx, and if y is equal to n minus 1 plus plus x, else if x equals n minus 1 plus plus y, else if I can't go down. So if to the bottom is strictly bigger than to the right, so v y plus 1x is greater than v y x plus 1 plus y, else plus x. And return v. And here actually I should have written plus vi yx. And everywhere here it should be I. Oh my god. So I want to look at 10, 10. No, why? You should always go down if it's possible. Okay, so it goes here, then here. Let's look at something like this. 9, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2. Why 4, 3, 2? Okay, let's write something else. And dance. Rhyme. Okay, and I will do it like this. So first of all, I will say that v I0, 0 is equal to I. Then I will go downwards till the diagonal. J from 1 to n plus plus j. So the number of elements is j plus 1. So what do? I want to fill this whole diagonal. How do I do that? I will say that let's store the int, which means spent coins. So what do we do here? We say, I think that then the remaining coins are equal to let's call it half. I don't know. Let's call it half. So this is what we have. So I think that I have 0. I have some coins, and also I will have j minus k times v I j minus k minus 1 k. So this is how many coins I have. Yeah, for example, here, this guy thinks that we have 4 plus 4 coins. So here, j equals 2. Yeah, and we have 2 coins. Okay, we think that we have this number of coins. That means that I can put in my thing. So v I j minus k k equals remaining plus j divided by j plus 1. Okay, and in the last place we can put and then we want to write what we have. Now we have plus equals this, but minus this, because this was spent. And then we say that v I 0 j equals what we have in the end. I think that's it. Now we want to transpose this matrix. How do we transpose this matrix? Quite easily, I think. So let's just go for and we say v I n minus j minus 1 n minus k minus 1 equals v I k j, I think, and return v. So okay, let's say that vvi ans prime equals find ans prime of nm. Print both of them. And is it true that ans equals ans prime? Print that. Okay, so it says 0. It says false. But why does it say that? Ah, here it says 4, 2, 3 for some reason. Ah, I don't want to divide by j and j plus 1. I need to subtract k. Okay. Now it coincides. Let's make it bigger, I think. Let's make it 30, for example. Now it's still same. Good. That is good. And that means that I can actually solve this problem. So first of all, I want to construct the matrix, and then I want to go along it. Okay, VBI. Okay, VB ans equals find ans. Then I want to for bool b from ans out b. Okay, let's say that true is down and false is. All right. a find ans of this. So first of all, I would like to find the matrix of this process. To find the matrix of this process, I need to run it for n and find matrix of I think it's good to write like this. So find matrix n and m. Okay. Now we say that we have this matrix. We start in x equals 0 and y equals 0. And what do? We say this. Actually, we cannot change the matrix. I don't think we need to really change the matrix. So if this, then we go to the right and push back false. Else plus y also false. Here true, and here true, and here matrix. Here also matrix. And also I think we do it less times so that we don't have to add an extra element. Good, now we just need to find the matrix. Okay, this part with the transposing is quite the same. So I put it without changing. So I only need to make this part. Also, I remove this cycle. I say that v00 is m. Now it's a little bit hard because of various reasons. So this is kind of okay. The problem is that it might overflow, I think. So this might be as big as 100, and this can be like 10 to 18. Ah, it cannot, I think. I think it cannot. I think it shouldn't be so big. I think it shouldn't be too big. So why then the output? Ah, what's wrong with you? Ah, there is no multitest. Ah. RRDD, RRDD. Okay, I want to look at something big. Let's submit that. Accepted. Good. So now I'm top 10 participant. Now maybe we can try and solve problem B. Because I didn't like A. Or simply switch to some other problems like D. Oh, we have a lot of cards numbered from 1 to this number. Choose 2 and choose N on a deck. And card I shows ith string in lexicographic order. When Alice writes one of the first N uppercase letters, on the back of each card, she then performs the following magic T times. The host announces a letter S. Which Alice writes one of the first N uppercase letters on the back of each card. The host announces a letter S among the first N uppercase letters. The host writes a length 2N string of all zeros on the blackboard. For I from 1 to N in this order, we do the following. The host tells Alice integers AI and BI. Then Alice chooses exactly one of the AIth and BIth character of the string of the blackboard and sets it to 1. Well, it's a nice trick. So the host tells Alice several pairs of numbers, and she should choose one number from each pair. And after that, the resulting actually the numbers of cards don't matter. It's just simply all the lexicographic strings. Okay, so Alice does it. And then actually she can make any character to be on this card. Oh, I need to think about that. Okay, so what do we have? We kind of have 2 to the n choices, and we want to choose the number to be n. Hmm. So at each moment, the following thing is true. So when we have already made some choices, this shrinks down to a smaller system. So in this smaller system, still several choices are possible. But this time we don't want to get any letter. We want exactly one letter. So let's say that well, we have some subsystem of cards. Let's say that this subsystem of cards of size 2k choose k can choose any of some k letters. But we don't want all of these cards. We don't need them. Oh, such constructive problems. Two kk, 2kk. Two kk. K, yes. What is the cost of this problem actually? Why costs are not written here? I need to look at the standings for that. And still they're not said. Where are the costs? Are you kidding me? Where are the costs? I need to go through all the tasks and find the costs there. 1400, 1400, 1100, 1100, 900. Okay, the easiest question. Can we just assign a number from 1 to n to each of these cards? To each of these indices, and we simply look at the sum modulo n. The answer is unfortunately no, because if always the same numbers are chosen, then we lose. And that's sad. Okay, what about last n digits don't matter at all, and among the first digits there are all numbers from 1 to n. From 1 to n. So we have numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. n minus 1, and also a lot of zeros. Can we get any sum that we want? I think we should be able to do it. Okay, first of all, how to make the sum? Okay, if there are a lot of equal numbers, then we are doomed, because unfortunately, if there are a lot of equal numbers, they will be paired up. So we need different numbers. We are okay with equal numbers if they are zeros. Okay, what is the ideal situation? We get some number, for example. Okay, first of all, let's guarantee to get 0. How can we guarantee to get 0? If we get, I don't know what we get. How can we guarantee to get 0? Actually, we cannot. For example, if there is 1, 2, a lot of zeros, modulo 3, then we lose, because among these two we will have to choose 1 or 2. What about 1, 2, 3, etc. n minus 1, and then again 1, 2, 3, etc. n minus 1, and also 0 and 0? Yes, this would work, but we can get this assignment, and this is sad, because we will always get 1, 2, 3, etc. So we cannot have a lot of equal numbers, I think. What about... Well, does it even work? What do I do for n equals 3? I mean, what do I do for n equals 3? I have 6 cards. No, how many cards I have? I have 6 bits. And I don't want to put this. Well, I could have this, but this does not work because I will get paired 1, 1. And that's bad. And if I have this, I also can get this paired, and this is bad. Actually, adversary can always add any constant to each pair. Not any constant to each pair, but... Well, actually, yeah, any constant to each pair. So I have some good set of numbers, and it should be true that after any pairing and after any adding to these pairs of any sorts of numbers, I still can get any sum. I don't like it. What about maybe some bracket sequences? Well, yeah, actually bracket sequences are not that bad. What is the usual thing in bracket sequences? Usual thing in bracket sequences is that well, you have some opening brackets, some closing brackets. Wow. Actually, you can always make your sequence proper, because you can always take the left bracket and make it opening and the right one make it closing. Good. So I can always make a bracket sequence with balance 0. I can also always make a bracket sequence. Can I make a bracket sequence with balance? I mean mean balance. Mean balance. Hmm. Actually, let's add a closing bracket here. Then I have 4 places where the bracket sequence could first become negative. Yeah, so let's say that I want to pass the following information. I want exactly this bracket to be the first where something negative happens. For example, if I want this one, then I put it like this. Open, close, close, open, close, open, open, I don't know. No. Okay, so this is the first bracket where something negative happened. So I can make it this. I can definitely make it this by just ignoring everything but this bracket. Can I make it anything from these brackets? So I choose a even indexed bracket and I want it to be the first one in which something bad happens. Well, not that easy, because, for example, for this bracket, in order to do that, I'm forced to make both these brackets closing. However, if someone gives me this pair, then I have to open and then close. That means that the first bad moment was before that. So no, it is not the case. What else can I do? What can I do? I can make the bracket sequence improper. Well, I can easily make it proper. So okay, let's consider some cases. I can make it proper. I can make it improper by choosing this element bad. I can make this first element closing. What else can I do? I actually, if the first element is closing, I can also pass some more information, I think. I should be able to pass some more information. Maybe the number of moments. Okay, maybe the number of moments. Can I vary the number of moments where the bracket sequence is improper? Well, I can definitely make it 0. I can definitely make it 2n, for example. I can always put first closing bracket and then opening bracket. Then this sequence will never be anywhere like proper. Can I do anything else? Okay, for example, I want exactly one bad situation. Can I do exactly one bad situation? Hmm. Exactly one bad spot. Okay, for example, for 4 brackets, let's make it easier. I can do that. I can make it closing, then opening, and then opening and closing. Then exactly one bad moment. But what if I have some bad pairing? For example, these 2 brackets. If I have these 2 brackets, then I will get to do this one. So I can actually choose between 2 and 3. Oh my god. Okay, one else thing. For example, the number of such pairs. So on position 0, 1, we get +1 if it is an opening and a closing bracket in this order. Then on positions 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, the same. What will be the problem with this approach? There will be a problem if we get a lot of pairs like 0, 2, because we cannot choose we will put exactly one opening, exactly one closing, and we won't be able to make n. We will get at most n over 2. What can we do then? Okay, let's call it. Let's look at the leftmost moment such that if I put this here, then this is a proper sequence. Okay, what about this one? The leftmost moment such that I can transfer this here and get a proper sequence. So assume that so first of all, I can make it here by just making a proper sequence. Can I make it somewhere else? For example, can I make it here, for example? What is the only way? Okay, I cannot, because if I have opening and closing here, and this starting here, it is a proper sequence. Then starting here, it is also a proper sequence. However, I can make here something like this. But then I also lose because I cannot put it here. Ugh. Why can I make a sequence proper, but I cannot do anything else? So I know that there are 2nn divided by n plus 1 proper sequences, right? Proper bracket sequences. For example, for n equals 2, it's for choose 2, which is 6, divided by 3, it's 2. And of course, I have this and I have this. So I can make a proper sequence. And detect it. What's the problem with that? I think we need to remember why there are exactly this many sequences. I know this fact. And this, I can prove it. But what about the upper one? Can I prove the upper one? So what is the proof of the upper one? What is the standard proof? That it should be 2n choose n divided by n plus 1. What is the standard explanation? It should be something like let's look in the internet. Catalan number formula. Maybe we will found in the internet. Find something in the internet. Properties. Non-crossing partitions. What are the non-crossing partitions? I mean, I understand. Wait, what? Okay, there are also triangulations. Where is the proof? So why is the number of bad paths is 2n over n plus 1? A bad path crosses the main diagonal. Here. And then we can do like this. Yes. So can we divide them into groups? Okay, I like this difference, but I don't like that I can't do anything with this. This doesn't work in my problem. Yes, I have some path that intersects this diagonal, just some path that goes into this point. Into this. I have some path that goes to this point. And of course it goes under the diagonal. However, I cannot distinguish between them. Exceedance. What is the exceedance? I like it. Monotonic path, the exceedance of the path is defined to be the number of vertical edges above the diagonal. So let's try and make some fixed exceedance of the path. So the number of closing brackets okay. And we decrease the exceedance by exactly 1. Why? Because this has the same exceedance. This edge is now here, and also this edge is now here, and except that nothing's changed. So we have a sequence. We want to construct a sequence with some fixed exceedance. How can we do that? Okay, so exceedance 0 is open, open, close, close, open, close, open, close. Exceedance 1 is close, open, open, close, and open, close, close, open. And exceedance 2 is close, close, open, open, close, open, close, open. So I can definitely make this. Okay, I can definitely make this. I can also definitely I think I can make this. How can I make this? This is equivalent to simply making the first bracket closing and the last one opening. If we get this pair, I can do it. If we don't get this pair, I still can do it. So yes, this is easy. At least in this case it is equivalent. I can just always put first closing and then opening. And this will this will obtain the maximum exceedance. But what about between one? About between one, it is sad because I think it is impossible to do, right? For example, I can be asked about these two middle brackets. I will have to do something like this, and then I will be forced to make exceedance 0 or 2. God. Or if it looks like this, then again, this makes the exceedance 2 and this makes the exceedance 0. So exceedance is not the answer to my big problem. Okay, if I had the sequence 1 unit shorter, I would be able to Okay, let's ignore the last symbol. Let's just ignore the last symbol. Then I have, let's say that it is always closing, for example. Then I have a sequence of 2n-1 brackets, and I have to choose n-1 closing ones. And there might be exactly one moment starting from which it is like a nice sequence where I call the nice sequence sequence Okay, 2n characters. Let's say that I have nth character and 2nth character reserved. I want to make it proper, almost proper, without looking at these two characters. Okay, well then if someone gives me some bracket couple like this, I can put it. If someone gives me like this, I can also put it. The problem starts if someone gives me a bracket like this and a bracket like this. Because this actually forces me to choose whether this will be my good closing bracket or this will be my good closing bracket. And I still don't know. I want to remove one character. So what I would like to do, let's say what I really would like to do. I would like to say I would like to say that this okay, for example, I'd like to say that these two brackets I would like to have two n-1 characters. Then I somehow put this opening and closing brackets, but the closing bracket will be one more than the number of opening brackets. So I will get n-1 opening and n closing. In this scenario, there is exactly one point, starting from which it is a proper sequence, and after that a closing bracket. Exactly one moment. So I get to pass to n-1 information. And I can actually make any moment such a good moment by making this bracket closing and everything after that proper. So this is very easy. The small problem is that nobody will allow me to do it. Nobody will allow me to make this bracket closing. Well, they will allow, but I will have to make some other bracket opening. Which is far from ideal. Okay, this basically means that of course I will not be able to... Okay, can I make this or this the start of my sequence? Can I make this or this? So I have two places and I want one of them to become my starting point. Can I do it? So this or this. Well, each time I have a couple of brackets somewhere here and somewhere here. I just first put open and then close. If I have this bracket and this bracket, this is also very good because I open this and close this. Again, I have a problem when, so I have two places. I have two places. The problem is I cannot force this bracket to be opening. It might be closing bracket. Okay, can I make a sequence which has something closing? Are there any other proofs? Triangulation, definition of Catalan number. Can we actually So it is true that I can write any, that it is always the case that the first bracket is either paired with something like this or with something like this. Can I manage this length somehow? Okay, so here it is 1, so it is 0 here. Here it is 1. Okay, let's group it into several groups. So it might be either 0 or 1. So here it is 0. Here it is 1. Here it is what? Ah, this is only true for a balance string. No, what? Ah, where C is correct and B is balanced. Yeah, so it is 0. Okay, now let's look at this thing. So I have this. Firstly correct and then balanced. Ah, inverse correct. Inverse correct is also good here. Okay. I think it's kind of good because here there is no there are no two brackets which are forced to be equal. That's what I would say. There are no two brackets that are forced that I am forced to make equal. Right? Yes. So what about this? So what I want to do is I'm given a number k. I want to make it this and this. And either this is open, close, and this is correct and this is balanced, or closing, opening, and this is inverse of correct and this is balanced. Can I do that? No, because they can start with something like this, and I will be forced now to make it opening and only then closed. And I can't afford that. no, also doesn't work. Cycle lemma. Well, it's strange because in the end I will have 4 places, right? Okay, let's look at the end. In the end, I will have 4 places. Yeah, for example, I can get this paired, so this is correct. However, I can get also this pairing, in which case I will have to do something else. That means that even when there are only 4 brackets in the end, there is a way to do it like this. So among all 6 possible ways, there should be 2 where it works as I want. I don't know. So there was another idea. Although now I don't like it. The idea is that each subset of 4 symbols, for example, corresponds to, for instance, some pair. And when I am given a choice, I eliminate one of the elements. How can I do it? Let's see. So I have 4 elements, and I can guarantee these, and I can guarantee these. Both of them can be guaranteed. And the last one cannot be guaranteed. So these 4 elements can guarantee the answer. Ah. It is basically about these 2 brackets. So I can make these 2 brackets opening and closing. Can I just make some promises that some brackets will be opening and some will be closing, or not? Okay, let's say that the first half is something like opening brackets and the last half is closing brackets. So how can I make the statement 1? I can actually always make this opening and this closing. Can I make a statement 2? Statement 2 is that this is closing and this is opening. But I never can make them equal, so this is a bad set of statements. So I want this to be closing and this to be opening, and for example now this opens and this close. This again does not make sense because I can be forced to make them different. So can I say the following? This opens, this close, and either this is closing or this is opening. Can I do this? So if I paired with these ones, no, I cannot do it because I can be paired with these ones and I have to open it and close it. And then I can be paired with these ones. So I can be forced to open this and close this. Very bad. Basically, I can make in some set of brackets at least half opening. That is what I can do. I can take some set and make at least half open. Moreover, I can take an odd set and make greater than half. I can take some odd set and make more than half open in brackets. I can do it. But I think it should be hard to do it, no? If I wanted to tell us something, I want it to be hard, because if it happens at random, then it's sad. I can make in some odd set more than half, and in other odd set simultaneously less than half. How can I do it? Simply when I am asked about this set, I open. When I asked about this set, I close. That's it. So I have two odd sets, and I make in one of them more than half, and in the other one less than one half. And by this I can encode something. Yeah, but it's too little information. It's too little information. Oh my god. A very hard contest. Belik? Oh my god! Ivan Bachkov solved this problem. And I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to think of the correct way to do it. Okay, maybe I need to somehow guess what I need to do in problem A. I already have some sort of wrong solution. Maybe it requires a small fix. Maybe it just requires a small fix. What kind of fix might help? So if we can... Oh my god. So hard to do it. So we want to... So actually, I think there are only two cases in this problem. So if I have several, at least two currently open tasks, then I can simply take the one with the least t plus x. However, if there is only one task now, then probably... So okay, priority queue PLL pair long PLL queue. So let's sort by x, for example. Let's sort just by this value. And let's put everything in this priority queue. Let's make it set, I think. Or even multiset. Queue dot insert in place, I mean in place p dot x plus p dot y P. Now we go among all these numbers. Let me think. Oh, okay, also I want a multi-set of active guys. Okay, I have also multi-set of active guys. So I have this. Now I want to put it in active guys. So I say AC dot in place t plus x tx. Okay, now I have some active guy. Now the question is, and I want to remove it from Q. So Q auth it equals Q dot find this pair. So and Q dot erase 18. Okay, now I want to ask, do I want to run it right now? So if active guys dot size is at least 2, then I do want to do it. So I take the lowest guy here. So I say auth jt equals active dot begin. And I say that t equals jt sec y dot x and x equals jt y dot y. And then I do this thing. Okay. Otherwise, I want to look at the top guy from also if q.empty, I also want to do it. Otherwise, let's look at the top guy in the queue. So, okay, let's say that I have LLTT. Okay, let's do it. LLTT equals kt y dot x and x is kt y dot y. So if I cannot finish the task, so if t plus x plus xx is greater than tt plus d, if it is smaller, I mean, if it is smaller, then I say good equals true. Else I have to say that t equals tt. Else I have to say that else I have to say break. Else I mean continue. I don't know, it sounds pretty rubbish. And also it's most probably wrong answer on sample. Of course it's wrong answer on sample. Ah, it's tail now. Okay. Sad. Boss Белик. Fast Math ignored the round. Leo Pro ignored the round. Okay, this was a noob participation, but fine. Thank you for watching. I will not explain the problem C because the whole contest is just problem C and problem D.